Brilliant from Kennedy. Couldn't resist the shot, and it's gone in off the defender!
The chairman, you lose your little player. And it's in, it's a goal from Gilmour. Jimmy Gilmour has scored for Falkirk.
Finnegan's cross, Stephen Thompson! Falkirk have the lead after a quarter of an hour!
McKenzie slips, it goes straight to McGuffey. McGuffey shoots from his own half, and that is incredible!
He's taking them all on here. Catch him if you can. You can't. That is amazing. That is phenomenal. A touch of individual inspiration from Kevin McAllister.
This is Falkirk Daft.
Hello there, welcome to Falkirk Daft. I am Tom Lang, and John couldn't make it today because he was too busy after the Hamilton game getting steaming. So here I am, Tom Lang today. I don't even know if this is his accent or how he speaks. I don't know what kind of English accent this is, but this is me, Tom Lang, and this will make absolutely no sense if you're listening to the podcast version on your headphones or your speaker, and the accent's totally going. It is me, John. Yes, hello, welcome to Falkirk Daft. Now whisper it. I'll explain the Tom Lang mask in a minute, but whisper it right now. Whisper it. We're one step closer to getting out of this league. Now whisper that, right? I know someone that isn't going to whisper it. It's the Ginger God of Pod himself, the one-man band in the main stand. It is Ross Wayne, everyone.
Good evening, Tam. How are you?
I'm alright, thanks, Ross. Tam does not speak like that, by the way. I don't know why I'm turning into some.
Done well. I thought you'd done well there, actually, because
I don't know. Turned into a character for Emmerdale Farm. I don't think Tam speaks like that.
There was a bit of Simon Stainrod in there.
There was a bit of Simon Stainrod in there, the Sheffield accent as well. Mm-hmm. You'll hear by my voice that yesterday is taken it away. I don't think the several drinks that I had before and after the game helped with that. I was in hospitality. I took a leaf out of Ross's book. I was in hospitality with my pals yesterday. Thoroughly enjoyed the game, as we would expect. A few drinks. And a shout out to Ali in hospitality. She did Ross a good one early in the season by naming the hospitality section in hospitality. And then she's done me in hospitality yesterday by proceeding to put a bunch of Tom Lang masks in hospitality at half time. I came back to the table and all my mates were sitting with Tom Lang masks on. It was really, really freaky, I have to say. Now, I was freaked out by it, but what a laugh. Unfortunately, Tam couldn't make it up to the suites, thank God. But we did go up to town after, armed with Tom Lang masks. So you might have seen a few people floating about Falkirk on Saturday night with a Tom Lang mask. We were in the Tollbooth Tavern on the karaoke, standards now on a Saturday after hospitality, in the Tollbooth Tavern. And there was Tom Lang there doing karaoke as well. So it was fun. It was like a cracking out. So if you did spot Tom Lang around the town, it might not have been him. I'm just saying that. And I don't know how long this voice is going to hold up for this podcast.
I was going to say, I think I'm going to have to take over.
You might have to. You might have to. In Tollbooth Tavern, obviously Saturday night, best karaoke in Falkirk, by the way. What a laugh. Did Tequila Ross, because I've given you my cheating karaoke before, haven't I?
You have, yes.
Yes.
And it was Tequila.
So, obviously, though, we were all singing McKeever. So it was absolutely cracking.
He got serenaded by that, with that chant as he came.
I heard when he was in the hospitality suites, everybody started chanting that to him when he was up with
it was fantastic.
Brilliant. Big man must have been loving life yesterday, especially after that result. How did you enjoy your day, Ross?
It was really good, mate. It was really good. Really well put together, organised by the club and Derek Trevor. Shout out to Big Derek, who a lot of Falkirk fans know. He had organised for 34 of us sort of to get together to sort of remember Gary Hill, who a lot of people who listen to this podcast will know Gary or heard me talk about Gary before. It's a year since he passed. So we all got together to have a few drinks, a few laughs, a few songs were sung, and just really, really well done. And what a fitting day and result for it. So just absolutely bang on, and special shout out as well to wee Lewis, who's obviously been on before as well. He managed to get a few players that was Hilly's favourite players coming along.
Loved that. I saw Crabbo, I saw Crawford Batty,
Crunchy was there. Sammy McGivern was unfortunately not able to come, but he sent his best wishes. But there was the players there, so brilliant. Well done to Luby for organising that.
Oh, brilliant, absolutely fantastic, Luby.
Scotty Steele did a really, really nice speech just before the end of hospitality as well. Really well done. And then Jamie Swinney, because there was so many of us in the lounge, you know how Ian Snedden goes round doing photos of the hospitality guests. There was too many of us really to do it, so we all went out into the Jamie had let us all go back out into the seats, and as soon as everybody went out, obviously full of drink, the chanting started. But what we didn't know was that some of the players and Chris McGill, the kit man, was actually down at the tunnel area, so he starts filming everybody singing na 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 na,
amazing,
hey, and it was brilliant, absolutely fantastic. So,
absolutely brilliant. A great recognition of Hilly and his support of the team as well. So brilliant to see that. And you could see it was actually quite funny because it's like my mates who were in hospitality were saying, "Oh, there's a lot of it." I thought the South Stand was sold out. I was like, that's Elliot's boys' seats. That's why that bit section's good, because they're all in hospitality today. So no, brilliant. I saw a lot of them in the Brockville bar afterwards as well. So no, glad you had a good day, and great way to remember Hilly as well. We'll get on to the game in a minute. I'm desperate to talk about it, but just before the last time it wasn't so long ago, we did a podcast actually. We obviously previewed the Hamilton game and the Montrose game. If you're looking for a preview of the Montrose game, go back and listen to episode 71 right now. That's obviously happening on Tuesday night. Talking about Montrose as well, we are going to news that's happened since we last spoke. Is the game on the 30th of March is going to be televised. It's going to be on BBC Alba with a 5:30 p.m. kickoff. I was meant to be potentially going up to Montrose for a day out with Mark, who was on our previous show. So we'll wait and see if that happens or not. But now it's a 5:30 kickoff. I think getting home is going to be, that train will be mental. Try to get home from Montrose.
It will be, John. However, I was thinking about this last night, and we were talking about this after the game. If fixtures and results go the way we think it should do, that could be about the time that we could win the league.
You've been told you're banned from talking about this sort of stuff. I've had to give you a yellow card already about this today after you put up a tweet, and I'm going to get your yellow. Don't say anything, right? You're banned, right, on this podcast from saying anything about winning the league or anything like that, right? So shush, right? So that's going to happen at 5:30 on the telly. That'll be good to watch. Hopefully we'll get up there. And stop it! You're not even trying to make signals as well. And who knows what will happen there. Falkirk women beat Airdrie 4-2. Falkirk women beat Airdrie 4-2 today. We're recording this on Sunday. Dibsy got 2, Ellie Roberts got 1, and of course Susan Wyatt came off the bench as well and scored a goal, as normally happens in that. Also, since the last episode, Dennon Lewis got in touch with us in the last episode. He's been back in touch again because he was very excited about the game yesterday. So he says, "Hi guys, Dopey Doyle finally gave me the full 90 yesterday. Fantastic." Maybe he's not as quite dopey as I was thinking. I, of course, responded with a world-class display that must have showed Ackies what they're missing. So why am I raging, you ask? Question mark. The fucking journalist that does our match reports is an absolute wee prick. This is how he described my goal. He scored the goal as well. Amazing. Woking snatched one back in the 71st minute, courtesy of Dennon Lewis. The winger received the ball out wide, isolated Jordan Keane with a touch inside, and placed it into the far corner past Sam Johnson. Bloody hell, what is wrong with people? This was a goal that would have had Eusebio, Cruyff, Maradona, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi drooling. This should have read, Super Dennon displayed some of the skills that set him apart from the rest of the world, turning the Halifax defence this way and that before rifling a long-range unstoppable rocket into the net. That's how it should have read. Pity that Woking lost 2-1, but really it's all about Dennon. strange as all your place yesterday, I know for a fact that my mate, the Nigerian Prince, had sent a few of his boys to visit the referee on Friday night. Apparently, the ref followed his instructions to the letter, which were, our brave Aki's boys are going to clog these Falkirk bastards all over the place. Do not give these navy blue scumbags anything. The referee did his part, so how did it all go wrong? The Nigerian Prince is fuming that Serif Zengin's failings prevented him from signing me in January and is going to be sending his boy round to Serif's for a wee chat. Do not be surprised if Mr. Zengin is never seen again. This is worrying. This is worrying from Dennon. Up until next time, guys. Up you hell rat. Love Dennon.
Wow. Speechless.
Absolutely speechless in that. Dennon, thank you so much for getting in touch with me. Well done on your goal as well. Fantastic. Good to hear that you're firing on all cylinders there at Woking against Halifax. Great news for you, mate. Great news for you. So thanks, Dennon, for being in touch. But listen, what we're here to talk about is that fantastic 3-2 win against Hamilton on Saturday. And as usual, we get a guest pundit on. So please welcome to Falkirk Daft. It is Danny Henderson. Hendo!
Evening, gentlemen. Pleasure to be on the show.
Thank you for coming on, mate. Thank you for coming on. Like I said earlier in the podcast, you guys will have to do most of the talking because I've got a funny feeling my voice is going to go at any point now after all the shouting that was done at that game yesterday.
And the karaoke.
And the karaoke in the toll booth as well, absolutely. Listen, before we get into the game, Danny, we've got to ask you the standard questions as we do in Falkirk Daft. What's your first Bairns memory? How did you get into supporting Falkirk?
First, like a lot of people, a lot of Falkirk fans, my old man took me to my first game as a diehard Falkirk fan, has been all his life. First game I went to was I've just looked this up, the 1st of May 1993. Falkirk 6, Hearts 0, and a couple of weeks ago...
first game, man.
Talk about being lured into a false sense of security. You had the guy on a few weeks ago that was done the cameo appearance in Still Game, and he said his first game was Falkirk Hearts, and it was 4-0 Hearts or something like that, and whoever took him said, you might not want to come back. Well, it was the flip with me. Lured into I thought that's what every game was like, but after that, went with my dad every week, lifted over the turnstiles at Brockville in the junior Bairns like a lot of guys, and then I actually worked at Falkirk for 3 or 4 years. I had a wee kind of volunteered job that I got 20 quid in my back pocket each week. Worked at Brockville, Oakville and then the stadium, helping out Jim Dawson on match days. Jim used to be the groundsman.
Yeah.
So that was in terms of being a Falkirk fan, you know. You got to meet so many people, and what we done, or what the job was, it was kind of like a runner, jobs for the boys. You to do everything for like sweep up and do silly things, but there was some brilliant things as well. We put up the nets every week and they put the corner flags out. I think when I first got in touch with you, one of the highlights of doing the job was in the last ever game at Brockville. Myself and my mate that I used to do it with from high school, we carried the sponsors board around the back of the players. You know, the players all get the team photo with like it was like Bell's First Division champions. Yeah. And we were told to kind of follow the team around, and you know, kind of like yesterday, the atmosphere, you absolutely drink it in. So I had some really good times. I met loads of good people in the club. Jim Dawson, absolute legend. There was people, it was Sarah Scott that kind of sorted it out, going for the junior Bairns were kind of too old, and it's like, we'll get you something to do in match day. And the club just had so many good people involved in those times, and went up to the Premier League, and it was just a great time to be a Bairn, moving to a new stadium and stuff. So many good memories. It's ups and downs,
Oh, we all know about that, mate. We all know about that. So you obviously got to meet a lot of players and stuff, so I'm going to ask you the question. You're not allowed to pick any of the Holy Trinity. Who is your favourite Falkirk player of all time?
Well, there's a couple of honourable mentions. Somebody the other week mentioned Anthony Stokes. That loan period was just out of this world.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Darryl Duffy, loved when we went up to the Premier League, and he was knocking them in. I narrowed this down to 2 players. It was always going to be one, but Darren Barr, shout out for Darren Barr. I mean, you've got somebody that kind of gets in touch with the show, a kind of Stato type person. Darren Barr, when he was with us, was selected for Scotland and capped for Scotland. And I don't know who, I think in my lifetime, he must be the only Falkirk player.
Yes.
because he was a standout. I kept saying to my mates, who are all Celtic and Rangers fans, I was like, he's going to play for one of your lot one of these days. He got to about 30, 31, 32, had he spelt Hearts.
Yeah.
And I think he was at Dumbarton, and my mates were like, when's he signing for him? I was like, his best years are still in front of him. But answering your question, favourite player of all time, Richard Cadet. That first season or two. Yeah. And I've got the yellow heritage top one, but I don't know if you can see that. I've got the...
is that Cadet's top you've got there?
Well, I got this off my dad yesterday. I wore it to the 2015 Cup final.
Right.
My dad's old uncle used to work in the turnstiles, and hence lifted over the turnstiles until I couldn't physically fit over them. And he got, I said to my dad when I was younger, and I was like, God, do you think Uncle Tom could get a player's shirt or something like that? This is long before sponsored kits and all that.
Yeah.
And he did, and he'd asked for Richard Cadet's top, so it's the 1994 Hummel long sleeve with the number 9 in the back and everything. But my dad gave me it yesterday before going to the game, and I was like, I'm going on the Falkirk Daft podcast, and I'm going to show them the shirt when they asked me about favourite player. I was talking about Cadet shirt, and he was like, well, actually, that season, I'm pretty sure Eddie May wore the number 9 plenty, and so did Bairns. I was like, thanks for busting my bubble, because obviously up until, I don't know when, players started putting names in the back of their top, probably when we were in the Premier League. But
we only had one shirt. The thing is, there was only you're right. There was only a couple of shirts, and they used to wash them and wear them again. So it wasn't like these days where you would get shirts left, right, and centre. Like, because Ross sold me. Ross has a good match worn collection as well, and I end up getting a top from him, and it was number 4. And it was the old Beezer Holmes. What season was it, Ross? Was it
the match winner one for 94, 95? Yeah.
So my all-time favourite Falkirk top. I thought, and two of my all-time favourite Falkirk players, Yogi and John Clark, both played in that jersey. And then he gave it to me, and it was long sleeves. I went, John Clark or Yogi never played in long sleeves. So it must have been because there was the short sleeve version and the long sleeve version, and I think Ollie was the only one that played it with the long sleeves on, so it must be Ollie that wore it. But
it must have been in mint condition then if Big Yogi never wore it. But
exactly,
this one that we've got, I never went. None of us ever wear it. I wore it to the Cup final in 2015, but it's just one of those that we've got as a kind of keepsake. So pretty special though.
That's cracking.
Love it.
Absolutely brilliant. Let's get into the game then, boys. I'm delighted to say it was Falkirk 3, Hamilton 2, goals from the front 3, Morrison, McKeever and Miller, and Akeem Rose getting 2 for Hamilton. On the flip side, wow, I mean, we hoping we thought it would be tight, we thought it would be goals in the game, and we got it all. And in typical Falkirk fashion as well, that first half hour was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Obviously, without going into the formation day, we lined up pretty much as we thought they would do, Ross. With that team, no surprises there, really.
No, not at all. We thought it would be the same team that played TNS. Obviously, there's always that question mark as to is he going to play Hogarth, is he going to play Sam Long? But for me, the right decision was made with Hogarth. I know we'll get onto the game, and he had a couple of kind of wayward kicks, but he had a fantastic save at 3-2, what we'll come on to. But no change, no surprises really with the starting lineup. Such a strong bench though. See, when you look at it, you just think if it is going wrong, there's definitely players there that can come in and change it if we need to.
Yes, I mean that is the big thing. I think I was more surprised about the Hamilton lineup. When you saw that lineup, you saw Rose and O'Hara, and you thought, and you saw at the start they went 4-4-2. They had made a few changes. I mean, surprising when you say that Ewan Henderson are top scorers on the bench. Regan Tumilty wasn't a player that we know and obviously tried to sign. And they got the boy Hasty as well that they've just signed. He was on the bench. So I walked in, I was like, that's some interesting team from Hamilton. I think the Hamilton supporters themselves had been on Jamie Barjonis's case as well. And he started for them. And, they lined up 4-4-2. And immediately I went, that's really going to work for us. See if we're going up against a 4-4-2. That is really going to work for us. What do you think about the teams when you saw them?
Well, the Falkirk team, I think that is our best 11 that was out. And by the way, there's a couple of guys in that bench. I think it's been said in the podcast a bunch of times. I think there's 3 or 4 guys in our bench that would walk into every single team. In fact, I'd maybe push that out to 5 or 6 guys that would walk into a team. I think it's definitely our strongest team. The Hamilton team, not just the Hamilton team in selection, Hamilton's tactics and game plan. I mean, I've been to both the home games. I missed the away game against Hamilton because of wedding, and we are miles out in front of them, in my opinion. And their approach yesterday, especially the first 20 minutes, half an hour, when we just blew them away. We've just got quality. I think we've got the best, if you write down the list, the best 5 or even best 10 players in the league, we've got that top 5 is 5 Falkirk players. And the top 10 might be, I'll be honest with you, without bias, 8 or 9 maybe. But the Hamilton tactics, I just thought they tried to knock us off our game. A lot of kind of hits, late fouls. Really no an awful lot of football played by them, and I thought that after the first minute or two we get the ball down, moved it around, and we created loads of chances. I thought we were outstanding the first half, and I'm sure we'll get into it, but the Hamilton goal to get them back into it, if it wasn't for that, I just think we would have walked away, and we could have, it could have been 5 or 6.
I agree. I think you're right, Danny. I think when you look at the chances that we had even before we scored, we'd had 2 or 3 really, really good chances. John will probably go into that in a second, but we were just out the traps so quickly. And I agree with John. I think that the formation, I think the team have looked at it and went, listen, we can get on at these boys here. Start early, get the early goal. Like we all talked about it before the game, didn't we? Just if we could get an early goal.
I said, I think in the preview show, I said if we get a goal in the first 20 minutes, we'll win the game. And it turned out, but I did not expect to get 3 goals within 25 minutes. That first half hour was absolutely blistering. Shout out to the ultras as well for the tifo display at the start. That was brilliant to see. I didn't realise until the surfer was that the steeple, so hopefully they've kept that and folded it away somewhere to be used again, because it looked absolutely cracking. So shout out to all the boys who organised that, absolutely brilliant. I mean, like you said, we flew out the block straight away. You could see the boys were at it, you could see the crowd was so up for it as well. We had, the Miller deflected shot, which fair play to Jamie Smith in the Hamilton goal. What a great save that was, by the way.
I was celebrating. I thought it was in.
Oh, the South Stand were celebrating. Yeah. You could hear it when you heard it back in the game. What a save that was, by the way, pushed that onto the post. And then you had, the chance from Morrison falling at the back post, but it was just relentless, as we've said, just straight at them. And then we get the goal, pretty quick off the mark. Great ball over the top. I think it was Spencer put it over top for McKeever, who worked tirelessly yesterday, ran
amazing.
Right, every channel Ross was involved. It's flick on, outstanding game. But he gets, he's out in the left, and you're thinking, all right, who's in the middle then? Puts the ball in. I don't know if Nesbitt got a wee touch on it to put it in the Morrison's path, or if it just missed Nesbitt, because I want to give him the assist. But I don't know if it was McKean.
I think Nesbitt did poke it through. I don't know if it was obvious for the club's highlights, but there was a vlog going round last night. John Ash shared it on our group chat, and it was a young lad. He maybe just looks young, but a young lad put a video, and he was standing at the corner between the main stand and the Kevin McAllister, and you see Nesbitt does poke it through to Morrison before he bangs it.
Well, there you go. Nesbitt gets the assist, and Morrison finds himself 10 yards out, left foot, just puts the laces through it, and boom, 1-0 up. And you're like, here we go. 50 goals now for Callum Morrison, by the way, for the club. That's a great return.
I think that finish as well, the time he's been with us, Callum, that he's just got better and better and better. And that's credit, especially last year or so, to John McLean and the coaches. I think he's just at the top of his game. And that finish, I think a couple of years ago, he might have just absolutely thrashed at it, but he just concentrates on making a nice connection with the ball, and it was a fantastic finish. And you're right, the build-up as well. I thought the ball for Brad Spencer was absolutely first class.
An absolute
like a Rolls Royce in the middle of the park. And you're right, Big Ross just ran the channels all day, and for a lone striker, how well he done in terms of getting in behind and knocking the ball on, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And I do think the ball was intended for Nesbitt, and it wasn't a bad ball, but I think the Hamilton boy was maybe just edging into him and leaning into him a wee bit, which didn't give Aidan a kind of clean run at it, but felt to Cal, and no mistake, a quality finish.
Yeah, I think it's ever since my steak or chicken pep talk, when we've talked about decision making, I think that's when Cal Morrison's really upped his game, But yeah, I mean, and then it was just after that, it was just goal after goal. Tremendous. Second goal comes pretty quickly. Wow, what an absolute cock up from the Hamilton defence. Nesbitt, in fairness, good credit to him, got his shot off through the Hamilton defenders. Good save again from Jamie Smith. But then what is the defender doing? I mean, he's palmed it. It's obviously he's palmed it out, and the defenders like they
hesitated, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely hesitate. They're like, you get it, no, I'll get it, you get it, you get it. Surely it's a defender. I mean, I love the fact they did it, but you just get that cleared out the park. You just doesn't matter. You just take ownership of it. But he didn't. And by the way, Ross McKeever, Fox in the box, straight on it, saw the problem, wee toe poke, boom, 2-0. Loved it.
See the goal, when I watched it back in the highlights last night, if you watch it again, when Aidan Nesbitt takes the shot, and it's a great effort and a great save, when Nesbitt shoots, Ross McKeever's not even in the box. He's making a kind of run in from, I don't know where he's been, he's kind of drifted out wide. He's running in, and it's a howler from the Hamilton defender. They're already 1-0 down. It's a must-win game for them. You don't take any chances, clear your lines, but credit to Big Ross. It's not even a 60-40 ball. It was like a kind of 70-30 or maybe even a kind of greater in favour, but it just, he just smashed right through, and beautiful to see the ball slund on over the line.
Oh, it was just, but brilliant from Ross. That's, I mean, we've said so many times on the podcast, like when we got this player in, everyone's like, what? Look at his, straight onto Wikipedia, straight onto, all these sites, just going, look at his goal record for Alloa. But you just see how much he offers in the system that we work in. Like we've said, running the channels, the hold-up play, the flick-ons, it's just absolutely outstanding, what he does. Really, really impressive stuff from him, and he was great yesterday and well-deserved his man of the match performance as well.
The amount of flick-ons he won yesterday was just out of this world. Obviously, we didn't always have someone there chasing onto them, but the amount of headers that he won against that centre-back pairing was just outstanding.
Do you know what he said? And he's not even that big, Ross. Like, see, when he comes... Yeah, I'm taller than him, and like, he must be 6 foot, and his jump and his ability in the air is absolutely incredible. Really, really good. Absolutely class, and, well deserved that goal. If he's adding that to his game where he's getting... I think a big criticism of Falkirk Sports is he's not in that box enough, as we saw, obviously, for the first goal, he's out wide, getting running the channels, and that's maybe a criticism, and he comes deep to quite a bit. But when you've got Miller and Morrison weighing in with the goals and coming into the box on the other side, he can afford to do that. And talking of which, third goal came from Calvin Miller. This time, we'll give another assist to Aidan Nesbitt, brilliant cross into the box, and brilliant header from Calvin Miller. Coming in from the left-hand side, getting into that kind of striking number 9 role, and a wee looping header into the back of the net. I was just like, what is going on here? It was incredible.
I was here for it, though. I loved it. It was a phenomenal header.
Thought the ball in for Nesbitt was absolutely first class, and I actually thought, lads, that he might have headed it. It might have actually hit off his shoulder or came a wee bit off his shoulder, because it didn't go bulleting over, and the pace of the ball, I think it might have nicked off his shoulder and just kind of looped over the top of the keeper.
But did sort of do a bit of a topspin type thing.
A wee bit, I think so. If you go back and look at it, I think it might have kind of nicked off a wee bit of his shoulder, kind of bit of header, bit of shoulder. But
I'll take it. Doesn't matter.
I know when that goes in, you're laughing, and there was one of the best bits about it was, I mean, the celebrations were great. Everybody was lapping up, but a bunch of the Accies fans. I don't know whether they went for a pie or whether they thought they'd seen enough, but there was a few of them certainly going down those stairs.
Yeah, they left.
The old chance of cheerio, cheerio was it was quality. It was
I know,
brilliant.
at that point in the match, you shouldn't be saying cheerio, cheerio, but 3-0 down. 8 goals now for Calvin Miller as well. 9 assists. He has been an outstanding signing, Ross.
He has. He's been. He's my. I know it's difficult to say because Callum's been on fire. Spencer's been on fire, but
And bear in mind, he missed quite a good few games through injury as well.
Yeah, that's right. He got injured at Alloa.
Alfie came in for a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. For me, he's our most consistent player. Whenever he gets the ball, you don't know. Like unlike other players, and I know I've been quite critical of Agyeman and Callum. Sometimes you don't know if he's going to beat his man or put the cross in. But Calvin, you just know every time he's either going to beat his man, he's going to get past them and score, or get a good shot, off, or he'll deliver a fantastic ball in, and he's just absolutely smashing it just now. I would be tying him down on one of these Dundee United Jim McLean specials for the night, a 5-year deal with a 7-year option type thing, that's what I'd be doing. So if John or the directors are listening, get it done, boys. Get it done.
Absolutely. I mean, you could be. I'm not going to say it, but it could be a huge player for us next season as well, because that's him. He's obviously signed up to next season as well. So but brilliant. Unfortunately, though, and we knew that it would happen at some point. Hamilton came back into it, but I think the manner of how they came back into it, like Danny alludes to, I think there's a lot of chat about it. They had the chance earlier on, tested Hogarth. Hogarth was, they fired from long distance, easy save, got around the post, but the goal came and it was just so simple. It was just a straight ball through the middle to big Akeem Rose, who the Falkirk's defence just switched off, absolutely switched off. Now, the question was, a good finish from Akeem Rose, by the way, very good finish from him, but was it offside or not?
I was sitting in towards the south stand, and he looked a couple of yards offside. I couldn't believe it. I said to my old man, did something happen there? Did I miss something? Did a Falkirk player knock the ball back? Or did I just miss something? And everybody around about us who were kind of in line with where the kind of the Hamilton striker was just all the same. And I'll be honest with you, I cannot believe it's not been given. And I was just thinking about it today. It's kind of like sometimes when you're working, you're just miles away, and then your boss speaks to you, and you're like, shit, I should actually be paying attention, listening here. I think that's what the linesman was doing. I don't know he must have been looking at the north stand and the pitiful Hamilton attendance or something like that. Thinking, this isn't the mob that tried to sign three of those players. The guys in your background, John, exactly. I think the guy just wasn't paying attention. He must have been looking at something else, and to me it looked a couple of yards offside and it wasn't even close. But it was a nice finish by the guy, but it really was totally against the run of play. And it took a wee bit, for a couple of minutes, it took a lot out of the crowd, just everybody thinking, hang on a minute, we are 3-0 up and we're home and dry. This was a party.
Bit quiet. It went a bit quiet for 5 minutes, didn't it?
Yeah, it
did. It did. It went a wee bit flat. But, I mean, we got back into it. But the goal, I mean, I don't know what you guys thought for where you were sitting, but where I was sitting, it looked, and I've watched the highlights and I can't see it.
You can't really tell.
Highlights, even for the highlights, though, the one thing I would say that annoyed me a wee bit was I thought, sorry to say, John, but I thought Tom Lang was kind of come out and his hand up. It's like, the guy's not going to run away for you. So, kind of similar to the Hamilton guy for the second goal, it's like, if in doubt, just go and smash the ball away. If the flag goes up, the flag goes up. But stopping, looking over, it's kind of the stuff you kind of schoolboy defending. So pretty frustrating to give away such a cheap goal. And I can't remember the last time we gave we conceded a goal where you take a step back and say that's a quality finish or that's quality build up. It's the goals we've lost over the last month or two. Yeah. It's just been poor goals we've lost. But hey ho.
It's almost like we've been responsible for them scoring, which sounds like a really arrogant thing to say, but actually when you do watch the goals back that we have conceded, which hasn't been many, we have been at fault for a lot of them. And I agree with you, Danny. I think I thought it was Tam that played him on.
It was Leon McCann. Apparently, it was Leon McCann. You don't really see that.
Or was it? I thought it was Tam.
It was Leon. It was Leon, apparently, in the far side. Now, I don't know how true it is, but somebody told me they spoke to the club videographer, and he said it was onside.
Well, just to interject here, so after the game, I don't know if the three players came to your lounge as well, John, but we had Finn Yates, Dylan Tate, and Ross McKeever come into the Brockville lounge after the game, and Finn had said the same, that the club's analyst had said it was onside. So I don't know what view they've got. They've maybe got a better view than the Falkirk TV camera, but certainly at the game at the time, I was raging because I thought it was well off, but it just shows you.
I mean, to be fair, in the interview afterwards, John McGlynn didn't complain about it, and I think he actually acknowledged it as well. So I think Leon McCann was the one that was playing them on. So silly goal to lose. So, and like you say, they kind of it sucked a wee bit out the atmosphere. I mean, we did have chances after that. When Morrison skipped through, he had to hit that heavy touch, and he was just, I thought, he's done it, but he managed to get his shot away, and it wasn't far wide either. Just
his touch kind of took him into the shot. His touch was a wee bit heavy, and see if it was just a wee bit closer to him, he could have maybe came back inside. He was that quick, and he is that good that I just felt 1-on-1 against the Hamilton boy that he would have had the beating of him. But it was a good effort. I thought after conceding, we did kind of, find our feet again and kind of, but it just, I felt, had that Hamilton goal not went in, it would have just been more of the same. It would have been more attacking and just, it just knocked us a wee bit.
The team talk's very different from John Rankin. If you get in at 3-0 at half time as opposed to 3-1, it's a very different. It happened at Alloa, I remember, when we were 3-0 up, scushing it, and then it was almost like, right, we'll just take the 3-0. We'll just take the 3-0, or they would have had to open up a wee bit more. So yeah, it was it kind of something. Going at half time though, 3-1, you're thinking, okay. Hamilton, however, in credit to them, came out the second half and they really took control of that midfield. And in the second half, I felt we were overrunning midfield in that second half. I don't know what you boys thought.
I do think Hamilton came out and the way they were fired up, but see, the thing is, again, going way back to the start of our chat and talking about the Hamilton team selection, it was all or nothing for them.
Yeah,
they had to come out and try and get the win, and they came out and they were fired up and stuff. And we were a wee bit tight. I do think probably John McGlynn just said, let's try and just make sure we don't concede. And Hamilton were kind of going for it and fighting pretty hard, but it shouldn't have been like that. That's the thing with they know that if they get that the first goal in the second half, that they're right back in it, and they were, and it should have been home and hosed. We should have been part of the atmosphere and stuff, but we're kind of squeaky bums on the edge of the seat trying to kind of see out the game, and thankfully we did. But no, Hamilton came out, and to their credit, they did put up a bit of a fight. But as I said, just for me, Hogarth had one save. Obviously, we conceded the second goal, but I don't think we were ever really hanging on in the second half.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's our Achilles heel. They get back into 3-2, and as our Achilles heel, and it has been, is set pieces. Akeem Rose squeeze in between Lang and Donaldson and gets pretty much a free header in at the back post there, and it's not been a problem just this season, Ross. It was a massive problem last season as well.
Yeah, it was, mate. We lost so many goals last year. This year, not as many, but we still
Edinburgh. You look back at Edinburgh.
Exactly. The theme for the goals this year is sloppy defending and not doing what we should be doing. I think Calvin Miller actually talked about it in his post-match interview, didn't he? He said, we do zonal marking, and I'm not really sure.
I fucking hate zonal marking. Get that in. I said it last season, and John McGlynn obviously sets up zonal marking. Get zonal marking in the fucking bin. There's obviously great reasons why people do this, but that's your man. The central defender, take the tallest player in the park. Tam Lang, you're on Akeem Rose. Cole Donaldson, you're on whoever it is. You get your man, you follow that man, you challenge that man when they come into the box. This zonal marking, is he in my zone? Is he not in my zone? Get it in the fucking bin, by the way.
I personally I agree. I think it's an old school thing as well, which you would think.
And maybe it is. Maybe it's old school. There's obviously
John McGlynn's old school for a lot of things. Not to be fair, his football philosophy is very attack minded, and
it's very. He's got a very modern way of thinking about football.
I agree with you. You've got your man. You pick your man up and you clear the ball instead of.
I'm just an old man now. That is it. I'm an old man. Like 4-4-2. Man marking. Not
short sleeve shirts.
Short sleeve shirts.
No gloves.
Exactly. No coloured boots. Come on now.
So I thought with the second goal there was three things. Losing the first header, right? You hope to kind of defend that first and foremost, but I thought Hogarth could have got a bit of a stronger hand to it. And also the third and final thing was, I think somebody's on the line. I need to watch it back. I think it's Leon McCann, and I just think that maybe if Hogarth doesn't get it, McCann clears it, but I do think Hogarth could have got a slightly stronger hand to it. So it's a disappointing goal. You know that John McGlynn, especially after Edinburgh and Bonnerrigan stuff, that losing goals for corner kicks, it would just be pulling his hair out, throwing his hat away. It's not happy, but it was disappointing.
That's the just man mark, John. Just switch to a man mark system, will be fine. I'm sure he'll be listening to this podcast going, do you know what, John, you're right. I will switch to a man marking system. But yeah, they got the goal. Poor goal to give away. And then right after that, another corner, you think, oh God, here we go. Kevin O'Hara with an overhead kick. But luckily it was, right at Nicky. So it was an easy enough save to make, but you're thinking, Jesus. And at that point, you're thinking at 3-2, you're going to have that run. In every game, they're going to have their ascendancy and they're going to have that series of corners, series of free kicks where it just keeps coming into the box. And like I say, it's our Achilles heel and you're thinking, oh God, could it go 3-3 here? But I thought they made some very strange substitutes and
Agreed.
Speaking to the guys at Owen Lackey's, I dropped them a message today just to get their thoughts on it, and they were very much the same opinion. Some very strange.
They opened up a form of communication again, have they?
Yes, we're pals. We are pals. Our pals. Ben and Brandon. Ben actually put up a video blog, and I've seen a few people screen grabbing his face and stuff when it went 3-0. Shocking behaviour. I wag my finger again at his.
You said me that.
But Ben and Brandon, so I reached out to the guys just to get their take on it, and they said some very strange substitutions made. And looking from the outside, why was you'd think, why did they not bring on their top goal scorer a bit earlier? And that boy Jake Hasty, who they've just signed from down south, didn't even start, didn't come on as early as I thought. But
I also thought from a Falkirk perspective, when I seen the board going up and Rose, is it Rose the boy that scored the 2 goals?
Yeah. Aye.
When I seen his number going up, I was like, thank God for that. He scored his first one was a tidy finish. He scored the second goal, and you think that, I don't know, maybe he ran his course, but
he looked like he was breathing. I thought he looked like he was breathing out his arse.
He's not played a lot of football because obviously he wasn't getting a game for a year, and I think that might have been his first start for that potentially. See, the thing is, when he played for a year against us this season, but earlier in this campaign, I wasn't impressed with him. So, going back to what Danny said earlier on, it feels like we've cost ourselves a couple of goals there by stupidity.
Yeah, I totally agree, Ross. And as I said earlier on, I looked at the Hamilton team yesterday in the game earlier in the season, and hoping all is well if we carry on and we finish off the job and we go up. I don't think there's anybody in that Hamilton team that I would look at and say, I hope we can sign them up. There's nobody. And the way they played yesterday, I mean, late on, there was a couple of tackles and challenges. The one in Finn Yates in particular, and I just felt that was kind of what they had to offer. Even looking at them, I can't pick out any guys I think, he's a danger man. They're just a bunch of skinheads for South Lanarkshire. They're just... a bunch of wall punchers, half of them.
They were leaving the boot in an awful lot.
Let's talk about that challenge on McKeever that was down on the left hand side that he didn't even get a yellow card. I mean, they left the boot in a lot after, when the challenge was made and the referees win. But that challenge at McKeever, and the boy didn't get booked because it was the injury. It's almost like, because he played advantage, the referee, and then the ball didn't go out. The ball went out playing, the Hamilton player got injured, and then he's not went and booked back and booked the boy.
He didn't even speak to him. There was
Even speak to him.
There was one late on in the first half as well. Liam Henderson went off for Dylan Tate, and I think he got like a bad knee. He got a bad like thump in the back. And at 3-0, my old man who's at the game with me said they'll lose their discipline. And see, if you look at Accies through the season, they've had a number of red cards, and you see them playing against us yesterday and you think, well, we know why, because they threw themselves into some of the tackles, and some of them were pretty reckless. And there was 2 or 3 that the referee, the one with Finn Yates as well, I don't know the boy's name, number 11 that came on as a sub. The ball's coming across, and Finn Yates obviously is kind of backtracking a wee bit, and he can see the ball and he can see Finn Yates, and he clatters into him. But that and the McKeever one, the referee blows for fouls, or the McKeever might have been an advantage, but he didn't even go and, never mind boot the guys, he didn't even go and speak to the Hamilton players. And you're just miffed at what they're thinking. But I thought started to lose their discipline, and they're lucky that there wasn't a few more cards shown. And credit to our guys as well. It's easy to just lose the head and start, dishing it back out. And I've seen it, old man. I don't even know if we've had a guy sent off this year. I don't know if we've had a single.
Spencer got sent off. Spencer got sent off at Thistles
in the League Cup.
The League Cup. Aye, that's the only one I can think of. Yeah,
and if you go and have a look at the Hamilton, if you go into your scores apps and go and look at their previous, they've had so many red cards. And again, if they play that way, then
I think you can tell why. Yeah,
aye.
You can tell why they've had that. Shout out to the referee yesterday. Colin Stephen was our man in the middle yesterday. Him and his stand side linesman didn't have a great game, I don't think. But yeah, they scored the goal. Then, but it was very strange because we got ourselves back into it, and you thought at that point Hamilton are going to come more back into it. But we had a good few chances. The one from Spencer, but it was going to be offside, where it went wide, where he's pulled it wide. Aidan Nesbitt at one point found himself in the box and couldn't sort his feet out, and you're just like, get your foot through it, son. And I wasn't able to do it. But, in that big chance for Brad Spencer near the end, God almighty, Brad, what are you doing, son?
If they had came... Sorry, Ross, on you go, mate. On you go.
No, I was just going to say, it's so unlike him, because every other game...
I was celebrating it.
Absolutely. Like, remember back to the Stirling away game in October. He just absolutely put his laces through it. Why?
That goal at Stirling, Ross, kind of similar. The goal at Stirling was rolled across to him, but similar. Like, you've got the full goal staying for him. That goal against Stirling was just pure composure. He just he put his boot through it, but he's not just smashing or thrashing at it. And that one late on, if Hamilton had scored, we would have had, I think, a unanimous round the Falkirk Daft of the week. I mean, I'm up at my seat, sort of thinking that's it, game, set, and match. The balls by the post. And the Aidan Nesbitt one, first and foremost, going back to Ross McKeever, again, he shouldn't. It was a kind of 60-40. The Hamilton boys should have cleared it, or the goalkeeper should have dealt with it. But Big Ross is in there, and he kind of manages to poke it over to Aidan. And I just felt anything, if he just kind of got a big toe in it and just stabbed it towards the goals, it could have been game over. And it was frustrating, because if one of those had went in with 10 minutes or so to go, again, the place was jumping anyway, but the place would have been.
I know. See, if it went 4-2, the roof would have come off the place, and it's. But we got that final. God, there was a lot of injury time. I'm just sitting and looking at my watch, and I was just like holding on to the buyers, not wanting to look, And it came in, and what a relief, because if we'd lost that game, it'd been absolutely criminal. It'd been absolutely criminal to have lost that game or draw that game. So it was just a massive relief, for that final to go, and then thinking we're 11 points clear. At this point in the season, it's huge.
Don't you
dare say it, Ross. You were told at the start of the podcast you're on a ban for that. As another yellow card you're getting dished out there.
with 5-10 minutes to go in the game, I thought that again, I don't remember Hamilton having a clear-cut chance, and I thought the boys, the defending late on was just immense. Cole Donaldson and Tam Lang with some balls thrown in, they threw themselves into some headers and stuff where they could have probably did get a few sore ones. But I think, to our guys' credit, I don't remember Hamilton having, a chance to level it. They threw the ball in, they maybe got a couple of set pieces, but our guys were brave. They were big for us at the back and stood up and were counted when they needed to be.
Yeah.
Do you know who I think deserves a massive shout out? And we've not spoken about him. Well, two people. One, John McGlynn for making it, but the call to kind of bring Dylan Tate on was a masterstroke because he calmed the fuck everyone down. He just calmed everyone down. And it's not to say Hendo was having a bad game because he wasn't. He was his usual self, getting stuck in and spraying passes and stuff. But when Dylan Tate came on, at that point, I think we needed to just calm down. And he did that. And he was here, there, and everywhere. And the other subs that came on, Ethan Ross, I thought did well.
Ethan Ross did really well. He got that chance when he went down the left-hand side and the ball over to McKeever, which is just, I thought Ethan Ross looked really good when he came on.
I agree. I think Dylan Tate as well, Ross, you're spot on that. I think what I've seen of him, I think he looks like a really, really tidy player. And obviously when kind of Aki's, well, when the thing with Aki's and Hibs happened and he was kind of released by Hamilton, call it what you want. When we announced that we signed him, I read all of the comments online for like Aki's fans saying, good luck, he's hit and miss, bad attitude. But see, the one thing, you mentioned McGlynn and Dylan Tate, the one thing about Tate, Spencer, Lang, even Kai Kennedy last year, McGlynn, see at any time, I think every guy we've signed that's played with Wraith previously under McGlynn is no coincidence turned out to be a good player.
Yeah.
And with McGlynn, I think one of the things that he does not get enough credit for is since he's taken over, we just keep signing players that are generally better than the ones we've got. And Ross McKeever's an example where I'll put my hands up and you see that as a sign, you think, is that our number 9? Is that who's going to lead the line? And I'd hoped we would sign Ewan Henderson. That's who I'd really hoped we would be able to sign. And then you just see like how big Ross played yesterday and what he's done. So McGlynn's eye for a player, and I judge him on his bad signings. How many bad signings has he had, and who are they really? You could point to a couple of guys that, maybe, you don't want to name any of the guys, but there's a couple of guys you might say, oh no, he wasn't great. But compared to what we've seen over the last 5-6 years, John McGlynn has been so shrewd and done a fantastic job bringing the right players to the club.
Yeah. And talking of John McGlynn, let's see what he had to say after the match.
Well, John, it got a wee bit shaky at the end, but we managed to get over the line and get all 3 points, extend our lead at the top to 11. You must be happy with what's happened out there today.
Yeah, I'm very proud. Yeah, different aspects. Yeah, we were on fire for 30 minutes. We were absolutely on fire. It was chance after chance after chance, and the goals that we got were some goals. Exactly the way that we play. We got down the wider areas, Callum and Calvin, particularly Callum, I would suggest, and it's a really great first goal that he scores. But on both sides, because I'm problems on both sides, and we get ourselves 3-0 up, and we're absolutely flying, A lot of energy put into that though, a lot of energy, a lot of, pace, everything, and that takes a little bit out of you. We had a little bit of a breather, and it cost us a goal. They got a little bit of time on the ball in midfield. The lad Rose made a really good run. Kenny stepped up for offside. It's no offside, we should be defending better in that instance. And 3-1, well, they're back in the game. They started the better of the second half, got a goal back, and to that extent it's game on. So our guys after that showed enormous character and heart and determination and team spirit and camaraderie, all the things that go there to dig out a result when things have kind of like turned a little bit. And Hamilton, fair play to them, they're a good side, they've got good players, absolutely, and John's a good coach, so it was always going to be a tight game, just the way that it kind of went. But our guys, Cole and Tom, the amount of balls they headed and kicked, and not only them but them in particular, because it's coming into the box, it's set plays and free kicks and crosses and that, and the other guys you rely on, and they stood up. They stood up and came to the plate. And at the other end, Brad could have finished it for us and making it 4-2. It was a great opportunity. And there might have been one or two other little bit of sniffs that we could have done. Nicky's had a great save. 3-2, the boys had an overhead kick in the box, and he's made a great save. So, it was all about winning. It was a game, it kind of like, as I say, we had, the first 30 minutes of the game, different class, great play from our players. And then, the second half we had to dig in and show a different side of us, and we did. And as I say, on the break we might have nicked another goal, but massive 3 points. You're right, we've got 11 point lead. We we've got a game on Tuesday night. So we've got an opportunity, and it is only an opportunity. It's the next game. It comes. It's our game in hand. We've got an opportunity to make that 14 points. So we're in a strong position. But that's all it is. There's nothing handed out in February, middle of February, 17th of February. Nothing handed out then. Still, 39 points to play for. Hell of a lot of football to get played. So we'll knuckle down. We'll be in tomorrow, and we'll be preparing properly for the game against Montrose, who are a good side. And we need to respect Montrose. I don't know how they went today at this moment in time, but delighted. Great fans. Big crowd here today. Probably more than 5,000 home supporters here today. Absolutely different class. And you stuck with us all the way through, and I can't thank you enough for coming along, supporting the team, and staying back at the end, and appreciating the players and complimenting the players, and the fans are a massive part of it.
And the fans were a massive part of it. 7,576 supporters there yesterday. And our stat O'Donnell has been in touch, Ross. He's not talking about Kelty, but you listen to this, what he has to say. 5756, 301 from Hamilton, 5,455 Bairns. Looking back at attendances since we moved to the stadium 19 years ago, it's been unusual to get over 5,000 home supporters for a standard league match. Last season versus Dunfermline in November, we had 5,300. In May 2008, we had 5,420 against Inverness, 35 short of yesterday. So Saturday could have been the biggest league game home support at the stadium ever. So there you go.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
That's unbelievable.
That is. I thought it was brilliant yesterday. Like the atmosphere, other than that quiet period that we talked about, the noise was just phenomenal, and it wasn't like it was mostly obviously in the Kevin McAllister stand, but for the first time in a long time, the main stand were getting involved as well, which was brilliant. See, just on that video, obviously I watched that last night when it came out. I don't know if you've seen it yet, John, though, because I wasn't sure if you were going to play it all the way through. I think it's Adam who says to him something along the lines of, "Do you think we if we've won the title or we're winning most games, will the players maybe get a bit slack?" And John went absolutely mental and said there will be no slackness at all at any point. We will continue to go and win every game. And he was really short with him.
Did you notice at the start he says, "You must be happy"? That he says, "I'm proud." He was not happy, by the way. He was not happy at all. You could see it in his face.
He won't be, because he's lost 2 cheap goals. He will be furious with that. He obviously mentions Montrose. Montrose at home will be tough, because Montrose is always a tough team to play. But if we could go 14 clear, it would just be absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, the crowd was just unbelievable. It was, it's up there. I think since the playoffs, the kind of playoff games against Hibs and Kelty, I think it's been up there by the best. And I think everybody that was there yesterday knew what was on the line. Win, and you're putting yourself into an amazing position. And the last 10-15 minutes, there was, every time we won a throw-in, people were up off their seat and kind of clapping and stuff. It was absolutely brilliant. Though, listen, the only negative thing I'll say about being as busy, trying to get a pie or a pea at half time, the concourses were like World War Z, trying to get
Ross, Danny, you're talking to the wrong person. Ross doesn't know what concourse is, what I mean? Never there.
Don't listen to his
pies are waiting for you in a wee plate, aren't they?
Well, they were yesterday, but don't listen to them.
Right, let's see what you guys had to say about the game itself. Starting off with Sam Balfour, it says, "Fans, outstanding. Ultras, outstanding. Team, outstanding. It was always going to be a very hard game with both teams desperately wanting the win. That first half hour blew them away. Try not to get too carried away, but win on Tuesday, and that's it, I believe."
I think it's done already, but I agree with you.
Ross! Red card! Off!
I'm off now, sent off. Craig Cruikshanks, former guest pundit, says the referee was a complete joke, as was his linesman. They allowed Hamilton back into the game with their horrendous decisions. They couldn't lay a glove on us until the offside goal went in. Obviously, we now know it was onside, but yeah, it felt offside at the time.
Yeah, Gordon says, more comfortable than the score suggests. Blew them away in the first 30 minutes. The front three were unplayable. Take coming on for us to control back. Disappointed we didn't get the Adebayor moment. No, that was disappointing.
That would have been nice if it scored. He would have. He would have just went mental. And do you know what? Even if he got a yellow card for whatever he did, you would take it. Of course you would. Craig Hamilton says comfortable until their first went in. The threat in behind was there to see, but that guy was nearly in the south stand when he got the ball. We made hard work of them, but they fought hard for a point. I hope Brad Spencer is down the park practicing his shooting. Come on, the Bairns.
Yeah. Ali says we're scoring goals we probably wouldn't have before as we play as a team now. Made hard work of it, but we did the work at the start, so it was paid off.
Do you know, I think that's a really, really interesting point now, Danny. What you won't know is before this one, we've recorded a special with Sammy McGivern, which is going to be out next week, right? Brilliant. One thing that Sammy said, and he's bang on, is that the teams that he played in the sort of early 90s, it was a proper team. There was individuals, but everyone played as a team. I think that's the difference between us and Hamilton. Hamilton make a big deal about having the best squad, according to them. We have the best team because they play as a team. Accies have got some good individuals in there, but they don't play as a team. That's why we're winning, in my opinion.
Totally. And I think John McLennan's interview, I don't know if did he use the word camaraderie or something along those lines? It's like the guys are together. You can really tell. And as I said, I thought that they were absolutely first class. And the point that's made about, we've got goals that can come from anywhere in the pitch. Everybody at some point can pop up with a goal. We're just so dangerous and a great team. So fingers crossed, long may it continue, especially on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Camaraderie, that was the Italian trialist we had in, was it? Only fools and horses joke there, guys. Sorry about that. Craig says, well earned 3 points. Very nervous second half. Fair play to Hamilton for not throwing in the towel. They're comfortably the second best team in the league. Oh, I'm not sure about that now. League One nonsense surely now coming to an end. Araki's now the second best team because surely on the current form, it's probably Alloa or.
It's actually Alloa is the other form team in the league.
Yeah, Alloa's lost one game to us. They've lost one game in the last 9, and that was against us.
Yeah.
So it's Alloa and Alloa play Accies on Saturday.
Do they really? That's interesting, by the way. Peter Brown says, great result, but why does John take so long to bring on fresh legs? We have a good squad, but it was evident in the early and the second half that Nesbitt and Miller were struggling. The back four were working overtime the first 20 minutes of the second half. I kind of get the point. I thought Nesbitt was a bit off it yesterday, if I'm honest. In fairness, he got 2 assists, we've just discussed that. But I thought Nesbitt was a wee bit off it yesterday, and maybe bringing on Tate a bit quicker might have done, but who's to say? But both very important players for us and played a good game.
I thought John got his substitutions pretty much spot on, and I do think in the past that maybe he's, Bonnyrigg, far too late making substitutions. And I said earlier on that he knows his best 11 now, and I think that he thinks that he's kind of got to keep that team on the pitch maybe sometimes a wee bit longer. He's maybe got to have a wee bit more faith in some of the guys that can come on. But I thought Dylan Tate, and especially Ethan Ross, I thought gave us a real sort of boost of energy down the line. I thought he was excellent when he came on, and I would actually, going into Tuesday, I would make a couple of changes and freshen up. I thought some of the guys, I thought a couple of the guys late on, I don't think Calvin Miller or Cal Morrison at the end were sort of playing up. I think they had to put everything into it, and we've got a squad, and you should use these guys. I think I would be very tempted to start Alfie and Ethan Ross on Tuesday. I would to rest Miller and Morrison, and potentially maybe Nesbitt as well, and put Dylan Tate in where Nesbitt normally plays.
I think advocate, we don't want to make too many changes.
Well, this is after the Edinburgh game. I think that if he makes any changes, it'll be maybe 1 or maybe 2. Knowing how we've been going this season, it'll be the keeper, and it'll be the same team otherwise. But I honestly think that some of the guys, I just think that you've got to use your squad and freshen up, and it's going to be a really, really difficult game on Tuesday, and I'm a wee bit concerned that just the guys put everything into it physically. And as I said, with some of the challenges and stuff, it'd be interesting to see if some of the guys are, carrying a knock or anything like that.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. My gut feel is I think he might start the same 11. However, I think if it was to be comfortable at half time, I could see him making a couple of changes to give a few other boys 45 minutes. The other interesting point about Tuesday is someone had put on Pine Bovril on the Falkirk Montrose thread around the fact that Petrie has said that he's going to rest players on Tuesday night because they've got a big game against Queen of the South on Saturday. And I'm thinking, surely he's not going to drop players midweek. So I watched it, and he does exactly say that. He says his players are absolutely knocked their pan in today, as in yesterday. He will look to make changes for Tuesday night so that he has his strongest available 11 for their match on Saturday.
Fantastic news.
Well, it is fantastic news, but if they do that, then it's going to help us, in my opinion. But yeah, because Montrose have been a tough team to play against the last few years, especially and this season as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out on Tuesday. Martin says, great atmosphere today and we're unplayable for a spell. SFA really have to look at the standards. Athleticism and speed in the pitch not being matched by the officials. Yes, very good.
Charlie Scott says, thank goodness that full-time whistle went. Thought McKeever was excellent all game and we could have had a good few more goals. Happy with the win, but we can't be complacent at 3 up, especially against teams that have everything to play for and will respond. Mark of champions to grind it out though.
Yeah, John Thompson's first 30 minutes were superb, but the officials gave them a lifeline and were totally inconsistent. Missed a couple of chances to bury it in the second half, but dug deep and got over the line in the end. 3 points is what matters. On to Tuesday, and let's make it 14 clear.
Indeed. Martin Buchanan says, we blew Hamilton away in the first 30 minutes. I thought Spencer had an excellent game and controlled the midfield. We looked nervy. Yeah, we looked nervy in the second half and let them back into it. Loved the atmosphere and hospitality when McKeever, Yeats and Tate came up. McKeever, as he says.
Love it, love it, love it. And Danny finishes off, and our Danny says, huge win against a better squad. So there we go. Right. Let's get to it then. Falkirk Dafty and Falkirk Daft rated. Falkirk Daft rated Ross.
You're not going to like me. Oh, sorry. Falkirk Daft rated, not Dafty. Sorry. Yeah. All right. I'll start with this one. Falkirk Daft rated has to be Mr. McKeever. I thought he was brilliant all game.
Yeah, good shout. Danny?
I have to agree. And the other week, Ross, you read out one of my tweets where I had said of Ross McKeever that I think he's had a great season, but I don't think he's scored any more than a goal in a game. He's not scored a brace. And I don't remember him scoring too many big goals. But talk about, he was absolutely first class yesterday. And I feel like a total twat for tweeting you the other week saying that, and I'm on and I'm like, hi, Ross McKeever, that's my star man for the week, so we'll move on. But the big man was absolutely first class.
I think Brad Spencer, honourable shout out for Brad Spencer, and also an honourable shout out to the admin of the Twitter for putting the picture of Agyeman, Spencer, Miller and Morrison, Hamilton's 3 potential signings, getting them together and putting a tweet out about that. Brilliant work. But it's got to go in McKeever. I think he worked the channels, he played so well with flick-ons and hold-up play. So 3 all around for McKeever. Dafty, first of you, let's go for you, Danny. Who do you think of Dafty was?
I think Ross has shown his hand, and I was between one or two players. I honestly thought I thought Tam Lang had a bit of a shaky first half, and the last 15...
I did not have a shaky first half.
For the last 15-20 minutes, I thought he kind of redeemed himself. He put his body in the line, some great headers and stuff, but I don't know. I just think I'm going to go, though, with Hogarth. I feel that we just mashed the keepers. The guys were so good. It's hard to pick, but I feel that Hogarth's kicking, and I do think he could have done better for the second goal. But I would like to see us stick with Hogarth. This chopping, changing the goalkeepers is just, we need stability, and I think it'll give the guys confidence. I think they're thinking, right, I've maybe got a game or two, and if I make a mistake, I'm bombed back out of the team. So, it's been said on the show before that Hogarth's our keeper. Long's on loan. Let's stick with Nicky Hogarth and just give him a run and get a bit of stability with the goalkeeper in the back line. But I'm contradicting myself, but that's my daft week. I'm going to go Hogarth for his kicking, and I felt like I could have done better with the second goal.
Yeah, Ross.
Sorry, mate. It has to be Mr. Lang.
What, me?
Yeah. I agree with Danny. I thought the last 15, 20 minutes, the defence and the team were on point, especially after Tate came on. But there was loads of misplaced passes yesterday, which caused us issues when they were on their high horse. So sorry, mate. It has to be.
Well, I don't think he had a good game at all actually yesterday. So, but I can't give it to him obviously. So I thought if Leon McCann's played that boy onside, I'm going to give it to Leon. I don't think Leon had a brilliant game yesterday, if I'm honest with you either. Out of the lot of them, I think I'm going to give it to Leon actually. If he's played that boy onside, and I don't think he was okay, but it's not the Leon McCann, Mr. Consistent that I know of. So I'm going to give it to Leon, I think. So there we go. But unfortunately, Tam wins it with all of that. Well, it's a three-way split, isn't it? But you kind of said Tam maybe as well, Danny. So
I feel guilty. I know how much you love him, John. So I'd split my vote between them. But the big man, I'm sure he'll pull it together. He's been,
of course he will.
First class for us.
Superhero, absolutely.
It has been amazing.
And the rumours that I have given my wife that mask to wear are untrue, by the way. There's been several rumours that my people have been saying that I've been making my wife wear that mask around the house. That's not true. I just want to put that to bed right now, okay?
Will she be tonight, though?
I can't possibly confirm or deny. Right, okay. So, yeah, there you go. Daft Date of the Week. The Falkirk Daft rated. We're done. Brilliant. Delighted with that. 11 points clear. Come on. 14 points come Tuesday, hopefully. Danny, thank you so much for coming on Falkirk Daft. Really appreciate your time. Hopefully you're back on again and we'll be celebrating a title win.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, James. Enjoyed talking all things Falkirk, and fingers crossed we get a win on Tuesday to put us well out in front. But no, thanks for having us, lads. It's been a pleasure.
No
keep up the good work.
sir.
The podcast is great listen every week, so keep up the good work.
Appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that. If you want to be just like Danny, it's dead simple. Drop us an email, pundit@falkirkdaft.co.uk, or slide into our DMs on Twitter or Facebook.
This is Falkirk Daft.
So, as we said, if you want to hear if you're listening to this on Monday or Tuesday and want to hear our preview of the Montrose game with Mark, go back and listen to episode 71. But we're going to talk about Kelty, which is our next game up on Saturday. Last time we went there, I don't remember much about it. It was 5-1, and I end up with the Ultras in some state. And we won't talk about that anymore. That's gone. I won't be going on Saturday. Be glad to know, everyone. I'm going to miss the game on Saturday. Ross, you're heading through though, aren't you?
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. It's a tidy wee ground. I think we'll go there and get the win that we need. Kelty are a bit weird this season. They've been a bit
patchy, hit and miss. I mean, looking at their form, they lost yesterday against Montrose. Then they went a wee run where they were unbeaten in 3, lost. They've been kind of up and down. They've got a decent side. To be fair, Tidser seems to be getting a decent tune out of the team that he's got there. I always think Reece Lyon's a good player. Did he end up going to Hamilton in the end?
He left, I think. No, sorry, beg your pardon. No, I don't think he did. I don't think that move happened. I don't know.
He certainly talk about him going there, wasn't he?
There was chatter. I don't know if that actually took.
No, it didn't. He's still there. He's still there.
Yeah, he's a good player. Do you know they have been? They've obviously signed Joe McGlynn from Hamilton, and he scored. I don't know if he scored at the weekend there, but he had scored midweek in their game. So yeah, it's never an easy game. They even the game in December where we ended up winning. It was 0-0 for a long period from memory. Although I was you and I were both in hospitality that day, so maybe it was one of those games where the game was too quickly because of the alcohol. But it's I think we'll have enough to win. More than enough to win, sorry.
It was certainly very comfortable the last time. I don't think we even played that well the last time we were there, and we still won 5-1.
We were clinical. That's all we needed to do. And I think we will continue to be clinical as well. If we go there, if we get the win on Tuesday night, and it's a 14-point gap. We go there in such high confidence. As we mentioned, Accies are playing Alloa.
Is it at New Douglas Park or is it at the Rex?
Now you're asking. Let me have a quick look. It is Saturday the 24th, isn't it? So it's at New Douglas Park. It's in New Douglas Park. However, Alloa are on a very, very, very good run. So, and Accies, let's face it, are in a bit of turmoil. Their fans are looking for the manager's head. They're looking for the director of football's head. You might find there's more Alloa fans there than Accies fans on the basis of the Accies crowd. Never mind Saturday, their last home game against Annan, there was barely, I think, 700 at the game.
Really?
So their home crowds have fallen off a bit of a cliff as well because of the football that's on offer.
Yeah.
So be a brave man to bet Accies that day.
Yeah, fair play. Craig Johnson got a couple for Kelty at the weekend when they got beat off Montrose 4-2. He's done really well for them this season, 7 goals in total for the league. Seems like a good player. But yeah, I'd like to say, I mean, the head-to-head with them, been 6 matches, Kelty have won 2, we've won 3, the other one was drawn. So, and like you say, we went there, start of the season, 5-1 win. Good wee ground. I know a lot of the backroom staff at Falkirk are heading through there. Shout out to Stevie Jackson, the rest of them that are heading through to hospitality at Kelty to enjoy their day. By the way, their hospitality sounds outstanding. I was speaking to Stevie yesterday, and he was saying the hospitality offer they've got is amazing. It's like 5 drinks, your kind of breakfast, a meal at half time, and a meal at full time, and you get it's like 60 quid or something like that. It sounds amazing. So if there's spaces in the hospitality at Kelty, I would certainly advise getting involved in that. What do you think the score's going to be?
I think we'll put a few goals past them. I'm going to go 3-0 Bairns.
3-0 Bairns. I will take 2-0 Bairns. But hopefully, 17 points clear did sound good. That does sound good. That does sound good.
And if that happens, we can win the league in March.
Oh, no. Right. Okay, we're not talking about it. Anyway, enjoy it if you're heading to Kelty this weekend.
This is Falkirk Daft.
That is it for Falkirk Daft for this episode. 11 points clear. I was going to say 14 points. I'm counting my chickens. We'll be heading along on Tuesday night. So next week, we'll be reviewing the Montrose game and also the Kelty game as well. There's going to be a lot of chat next week on that. As Ross mentioned earlier on, we have got a special with Sammy McGivern. Falkirk Daft meets Sammy McGivern will be out next week as well, so look out for that dropping on YouTube. Set that little bell on YouTube so you'll get an alert when that drops, and also subscribe and you'll get a notification on if you're listening to this on your podcast provider. Subscribe to the channel and you'll get a notification of when that episode drops, which is probably going to be a week on Thursday. We're actually looking for a new sponsor as well for Falkirk Daft. If you're a company out there, a business in Falkirk area, we have several packages available. We've got headline sponsorship. We've got other packages available to you as well. If you want, get in touch with us. You can do that. Just John or Ross at falkirkdaft.co.uk. Drop into our inbox. We can send you out our price list. It's very affordable. And of course, we serve about 2,000 people, Falkirk supporters, every week listen or watch this podcast. So yeah, get involved with that. If you want to get sponsorship on the show, we've got a range of packages. I've got some exciting stuff coming up very soon. More details on that will follow because we've got some good stuff coming up. So if you want to be involved in that, jump on board as a sponsor. We'd love to have you on here as that. Right, okay, my voice is basically it's held out for this podcast. I don't know if it'll make it to work tomorrow. I've got another podcast to record as well tomorrow morning, so fingers crossed it lasts out. If you want to listen to the big Scottish football podcast, that's also good as well as Falkirk Daft, and you can listen to me on that with Stephen Mill, a Dunfermline supporter, but we won't say anything about that. And you and Cameron, fucking hell, I'm not really selling this, am I?
No, you're not at all.
No, not at all. So yeah, but yes, I'll be on that tomorrow. And what going on to the game on Tuesday night? Looking forward to it, Ross.
Yes, very much so, mate. Very much so. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. And until that next time, we need to hear from you.
Expect unexpectedly. Come on, Bairns.